this kid's going to, you know what a big league hitter looks like.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in the big leagues. But, you know, I feel like he's had a lot of those moments this year. And if I feel like this, certainly he feels this way and it knows it more than everybody. Okay, this is Petry's chance. And a lot of times it's early in the count. He looks like he's almost putting too much pressure on himself, being a little antsy, chasing some things he usually wouldn't chase. And he's kind of the guy that I think we all always circle, right? You know, if there's one guy who can do it, it's Ethan Petry. But there's just been a lot of times this year. I'm not trying to pick on him. Don't misunderstand. That's not what I'm doing. You know, I'm pointing how great of a player he is. But I think he is so anxious to be the guy for this team in those moments. I think it bites him sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with you there. There's definitely been a couple of those spots. Think back to the Oklahoma series, that devastating loss in Game 3. I think he came up in a big spot and popped out or something. But hitting's tough. He's made it look so easy for 2 years, especially in those big spots. I think not having a guy like Cole Messina, where they kind of did it together back and forth for the better part of the last 2 years, he may be feeling some of that pressure. I mean, I don't know him personally really at all. He doesn't strike me when I watch him as a guy that puts a ton of pressure on himself. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Hitting's hard. Pitchers, as you mentioned, they're circling him every single Thursday going into a Friday to Sunday series, and you know, we're identifying him. This is the guy that can't beat us. So when he comes up to the plate in a big situation, they're going to their best stuff. They're pitching him really difficult. And like you said, I think he's maybe expanding more than he would in the past because, you know, a bases loaded walk is great, but he's trying to get that 3 RBI or a grand slam and maybe be expanding outside of his approach. So it's tough. It's tough being the guy. It's tough being the guy that everyone's counting on because you're not going to hit 1,000 with the bases loaded or runners in scoring position. So especially when things aren't going necessarily how you want, it's easy to pick the superstar and say, you know, he's not getting those big hits.
No, it's I know it's low hanging fruit, and I don't mean that
Right.
disrespectfully to Ethan. Matter of as a human being, he reminds me a lot of you. Number one, he's very tall, much like you are. You have to use a megaphone in order to chat with you sometimes. But you know, hey, there's a kid wants an autograph, send him to me. I'll sign it. You know, much like you. Very smart baseball player, very smart. And you know, and this happened to Smoke a lot when he was at South Carolina. He'd hate me to say that. No, it didn't. Yes, it did, Justin. You know, the game was so easy to him at times, so easy. And he walked to the plate knowing, I'm the guy, I'm going to do it here. Big moments. And it just wouldn't work out. Like you just said, I thought that was the best way you could have possibly said it. It was perfect. Everybody knows you're the guy. Yeah. You know, they're not just going to groove one in there. That's not going to happen. And if they do, they're not going to pitch anymore. Right. So, you know, I'm hoping that maybe at some point in time, the dam will bust for him. And I'm praying that happens tonight.